friends, we have a very important day today, because, just like always, I say that like every video, because we are continuing on our WOW projects. But you might be asking yourself, what am I supposed to write for my goal? Well, day 2, 3, and however many days you have are all about practice. It is about looking at your work and saying, self, how could I make this work better? So what does that look like? Well, I'm going to start like I am at the Drawing Center, the Painting Center, or the Mixed Media Center, which means I started with looking for the right picture. Upside down. I started by drawing out my plan. Okay, well, I could call this done. I could start adding color to it and doing the finishing touches, whether that be paint or markers or colored pencil, or moving on to actually etching this out at the printmaking center. But today I want to take time and ask myself, how could I make this better? How could I use practice to make this better? Well, when I look at my piece, it looks pretty good, but those are supposed to be balloons, and those don't quite look like balloons. So I have 2 choices. Choice number 1 is to go to the help desk and ask for help, where I could say, Miss Ross, I want my balloons to look better, and she might show me how to draw balloons. Or 2, I could go to a resource, and I could look up online, or I could look through some of the books that are by the mat, and I could look for a picture of balloons, or I could use an iPad, and I could look up a picture of balloons, and then I could redraw my balloons. Okay, now let's ask ourselves something else. I need to make sure that my dude is in a place. Like, when we do our art magic, the artist always has a place for their artwork to be in. So I need to draw a background. Well, I remember Miss Russ teaching me how to do something where the road went like backwards in space. I want to put my guy on a road, but I don't remember how to do that. So if I forgot how to do that, I could go to Miss Russ for help. And she had me do a practice piece where we practiced making the road. Now here is the beauty part, and it's why I'm at the window. What you can do is, once you take your picture of your nice balloons and you take your picture of, see how you can see that through there? Okay, then I can go to the window and you'll be able to see your lines through, all your lines, and then you put a new sheet of paper on top and you can trace it all again, and you can combine your practice pieces together. So I combined my picture of my good balloons with my background, and now this is way better than this. Okay, so what does that look like if you're at one of our 3D centers? Well, let's say that was my character, and I now have, this dude right here. Now, biggest problem is, and we just saw it, I should check all my pieces because I forgot to slip and score. This guy will not survive firing, so I need to slip and score. But also, look, that mouth does not look good, so I need to use practice. I could make a whole new one of these and practice making different mouths until I found one that worked. I could take my art to Miss Russell in the help desk, and I could say, hey, Miss Russ, I'm not very happy with my mouth. And she could show me different options of what to do. She might say to me, well, friend, this is a super easy fix. What if we took a texture tool and we just carved in a little bit more detail so that we, could see it. Now I might take a little bit more time than that and make it look nice. Okay, what about if I was at the Mixed Media Center? Well, Miss Russ, if I showed her my thing and I'm like, I made a dog, she might help me by saying, well, what do you wish was better on your dog? So kind of make sure you're asking that question in advance. And then she might have me practice making dog legs, right? So she might say, well, what if we took that straight and turned it into looking more like a dog leg? So the last one is architecture, but hold on, I dropped my thing. Okay, so I took my character, he's that architecture, a little snake dude, right? And I might go, Miss Russ, my head does not look like my drawing. So Miss Russ might help me and say, oh, no big deal. Look, you could just add another piece on there to make your head, because don't forget, at architecture, we paper mache. So it doesn't matter that these are two different pieces, because when I paper mache over the top, it will look like one piece. That's the last little bit of advice I'm going to give you, is when you're setting your goal, if you are at a center like sculpture or architecture where you need to do finishing work, whether that be glaze or paper mache or anything like that, you need to make sure that you are saving a day or maybe two so that you have time to do that glaze and paper mache work. With that, happy art making, friends, and don't forget to use practice, 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 and the resource desk if you are needing help. Bye!